Hello everybody, and thanks for coming back to my channel. Or if you're not a regular, I'm a full-time reseller and I share my reselling journey on YouTube and Instagram through the reseller community. I've done a few videos on like brands to look out for and what brands don't sell and stuff like that when it comes to clothing, but I figured I would do a video on a list of brands that sell for $50 plus. So I've covered this in a couple other videos, but I like to spend a little bit of time throughout my week going through Poshmark specifically and filtering what sold and just kind of trying to keep on top of what brands are selling quickly, what brands are, sought after and how much they're selling for. So I made a list for you guys, kind of just like reflecting what I've been researching lately. So before I dive into telling you guys, this list of brands, I'm not going to get too into depth with it just because there's literally 30 brands here. But I have invisible braces in, which are just like invisible aligners, and I have a little bit of a lisp. It's hard for me to talk. It's just talking doesn't come naturally to me right now. I haven't made a video in like a week, which is a long time for me. So just bear with me. These brands are brands to look out for. I obviously can't guarantee that they're going to sell for $50 plus. If you look up the comps, the sold comps on some of these brands, there are going to be things that did sell for under $50 from what I've been seeing. These brands, their potential to sell for $50 plus are obviously higher than like your bread and butter brands. And I like to have haul videos playing in the background while I'm shipping and listing and steaming and stuff like that. So I hear Lululemon and Free People and Anthropologie so often it makes me nauseous. I feel like all I do is raise children and watch haul videos, which is beneficial to my business, I think. But at this point, it's become more of like a weird obsession to watch my haul videos. So I wanted to kind of just provide you guys with something just slightly different, brands that you're probably not just going to be able to walk out into any thrift store and find, but brands to look out for that you may not have heard of that sell for $50 plus used. That's the best part. Used. People are paying $50 for things that you can find at a thrift store for like $3. So I don't have these in any particular order. Some of these brands I did research on. Some of them I know basically nothing about except that they're selling decently. They're selling, I think, quickly, and they're selling for $50 plus. So Double D Ranch, which is like a Western boho mix of Western clothing, like cowboy boots and cowboy vests and what you would think if like somebody was riding horseback into New York City. Double D Ranch came up a few times when I was looking through sold comps for $50 plus, mainly like their leather goods, their vests, their very Western cowboy-esque button-ups. Another one is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Acacia swimwear. I actually hadn't heard of this before I joined Poshmark, but it's a higher end swimwear brand that has a good resale value, which is shocking for swimwear because a lot of people are weird about buying used swimwear, which is understandable. Another brand is Love Shack Fancy, which is actually like a travel inspired line of clothing, brand of clothing. They make a lot of like cute boho sets. And when I say travel inspired, I guess it's something you guys would have to like look up to understand what I'm saying. It's very Instagram worthy clothing. It has a pretty good resell rate. Another one is, here I go with the tongue clicking. I'm already annoyed. Frye London is another one to look out for. They make shoes. I don't know if I'm saying this right either. Ariat. A-R-I-A-T, boots. So if you look up just the brand Ariat, this is a train wreck because I can't even pronounce like the first 4 brands. But if you look up the comps, they're all over the place, but I've noticed that their tall boots they hold on to their value and they resell at a pretty decent price, over $50. Alō Yoga Leggings. So specifically the leggings, because if you find like a tank top or a plain shirt, don't expect to sell it for $50 plus. It's not like this crazy luxury end brand of yoga wear, but I have noticed with their leggings, they sell for between $30 and $60. So I thought that was good enough to put on the $50 plus list. Another one, I don't think I'm saying right, is Ulla Johnson. They have really intricate thread work, and because of that, they have a really good resell rate, resell value, whatever. Prairie Underground, which is kind of like all about sustainability. They're really modern. It's not something I've ever come across before, but I hope to. And I think you can purchase Prairie Underground wholesale. I think. I might be wrong. But yeah, that sells pretty good for $50 plus. Another one is Magnolia Pearl, which is like a boho meets Victorian style brand of clothing. They have really, really pretty, like over the top pieces, lots of lace, lots of layers, and the resale rate is good. So Haute Hippie, that's a hit or miss because some of their items are listed for like between $15 and $20, but then a lot of other ones sold for $50 plus. So basically with the Haute Hippie, the ones that are going to sell for $50 plus are special pieces and like things with lots of detail or sequins or lots of colors, like a special pattern, stuff like that. So Sézane, Sézane, I don't know, guys. It's an NYC designer, and I've been seeing it on the recently sold page that I filter out over $50 plus. I've been seeing it a lot. So I don't know if I'm ever going to come across something that is based in New York City from a designer, but if I do, I want to find Sézane. That is on my bucket list. This one's kind of obvious. I didn't want to give you guys too many obvious ones, but Moschino, it's like a designer brand, but it's really hot right now because they have that whole like eclectic, that really modern Gwen Stefani vibe. And Rock Revival jeans, surprisingly, those are still going for $50 plus. Frye boots, Frye. Smartwool jackets. I've seen a couple of these pop up. I've seen more than a couple of these pop up. Used Smartwool jackets are selling for like over $50 plus. I don't know much about the brand. I know that they make like undershirts and stuff that you can't really expect to get over $50 for, but if you're looking through jackets or blazers and stuff like that, keep your eye out for Smartwool. Spell and Gypsy Collective. This is a new one for me. I didn't really know what it was when I was seeing it, but I looked more into the brand. If you look at their tag, it might just say Spell, but it's like a boho brand, lots of floral, really popular for like festival wear and stuff like that. Reformation, I don't know if you've heard of the brand Reformation, but that was a new to me brand when I joined the reseller community. Ralph Lauren purple and black label. So obviously you guys know of like brands having lower end labels. With Ralph Lauren, it's kind of like Polo, and then Lauren, and then Ralph Lauren, and then it kind of goes into like the black and purple label, black and purple label, like, which is their higher end luxury line. That obviously has a pretty decent reselling rate. Doc Martens are still trending. The pattern ones that are harder to find still sell well, $50 plus. Carbon 38, they're an activewear company. I believe they focus on activewear. They might only make activewear actually, but their leggings and zip ups and stuff like that, you can expect to get $50 plus from, obviously. Good condition, which I should have said before I started reading off this list. Madewell, shocking, I know, because Madewell for me has been not hard to get rid of, but it's been selling for, you know, around $20 and under, and I feel like the resale value for Madewell has just been going down. But I find lots of Madewell bottoms, like skirts and pants, that sell for $50 plus used. So I think if you're looking through bottoms, Madewell is still a really good brand to pick up, and you can expect a good return on Madewell bottoms. Miu Miu shoes and bags, those, I mean, that one might be another obvious one. I didn't want to, like I said, I don't want to give you guys a bunch of like designer luxury brands that you already know are going to have a resale value because duh. But yeah, Miu Miu and Johnny Was. I know I had to put Johnny Was in this list. Rails, that's another one you've probably heard of, $50 plus. Ace and Jig, which is I don't know how to describe the brand, but they have like a custom auto loom and they have like really intricate weaving. They just have really nice detailed textiles and they have a good resale value because of that. A pretty loyal following. I can hear my son just making weird noises. Self-portrait. Self-portrait is, if you go to their website, it says modern modest. So I'm guessing like how to dress modestly in modern times, right? I'm guessing. Anyway, their resale rate is pretty good. Antisocial social club. So this is one of those things that is kind of like Jeffree Star, where it doesn't cost hundreds of dollars new or anything, but they're like always sold out. So the resale value is up there. Because if you go to their website, like all of their hoodies are sold out. I do want to say with the Antisocial social club, if you just find like a regular t-shirt, you're probably not going to get over $50 for it, but the hoodies do really well. Peruvian Connection, which you may or may not have heard of. I love Peruvian Connection. Clover Canyon, it depends on the piece, but if you find like a tunic or a dress or just a really unique pattern that's more, I hate saying the word rare when it comes to clothing, but rare, you can expect to get $50 plus. And Madeworn, they make like $300 graphic tees and they only make rock music genre, Rolling Stones, like AC/DC. So instead of going on Amazon and finding a $20 Rolling Stone shirt, you can go to Madeworn and buy one for only $300. So that is my list. I did have two other ones that I threw in, so I guess I have 32 brands. One of them is FLAX. I wasn't going to include FLAX, but FLAX linen pieces, like especially their long sleeve and like skirts and stuff, do really well. And I hate being really basic and saying this, but Lilly Pulitzer, when I'm going through the $50 plus section on Poshmark, that looking through things that have already sold, of course, I still find lots of used Lilly P. It depends on the pattern, but her dresses, like her bright colors, do really well. I've sold Lilly P for as little as $8.50 on eBay, and I've sold her dresses for as low as like $25, $30, but there are still Lilly Pulitzer pieces out there that you can get really excited to find because they have a good resale value. So hopefully this video helped somebody out there as far as knowing which brands to look out for. Obviously, I should have said this before I started talking. These are brands that can resell for $50 plus used. If they're new, you're probably looking at like $100 plus, but I mean, unless you're buying like wholesale, chances are you're not gonna find these brands new. I personally have only found a portion of these brands, but they are brands that I'm looking out for. They are trending, they are selling well for $50 plus. So obviously I can't guarantee that for everybody. If you go on eBay and look at the comps, they might be different. 2 weeks from now, the comps might be different, but you guys know I'm all about like keeping my memory fresh with brands. So I hope I helped you. So as always, thanks for watching and happy selling, and follow me on Instagram, honey.rags, and from there's a link tree to all of my platforms, most of them at least, and I'm going to leave the link to my Instagram down below in the description.